Hey, what's up? Dave with Brazos Barbell. I've spoken before on another video on how we need to be flexible with our training in order to take advantage of good training and really find places that we can push harder throughout our programs, but there are certainly times that we need to adjust because things just aren't going well. Now, I think there does need to be some context on this and understand what I mean when I say things aren't going well. We can't always define success in our training as hitting new PRs or lifting heavier weights every day and feeling super strong. Otherwise, we could just run a peaking style program year round and never manipulate or change anything and always feel good about how much weight we have on the bar. Unfortunately, the heavier training has its limits and for sure has its risks. So, for me, I just came off one of the most successful training blocks that I have done and was feeling very good about my training and was looking to continue that progression. The last block, I worked up to a pause triple on squats with 285 kilos or 628 pounds, and that felt like I could have easily done 5 reps on that set. I also did a pause single with 300 kilos or 661 pounds. So I didn't change much heading into this block, but things didn't go nearly as well. I think I started my planned progression a little bit too high, travel had my body feeling unprepared at times, and overall it was just too much heavy work for too long. The original plan was to follow a similar block, cutting out the pauses and hopefully progress past what I got up to in the last block in those triples. My first week didn't start off great with a hard set of 3 at 275 kilos or 606 pounds, but even though it felt hard and awkward, it was probably close enough to the RPE that I intended that I wasn't too worried. Last week, I didn't feel bad either, but heavier loads just felt off and eventually got to what was supposed to be my last warm-up, and before my top set, I almost missed that rep. Knowing that a heavy triple wasn't there either, or at least wasn't going to be any good, I decided to drop down to what the back down triples were planned at, and my first set was nearly maximal, and the rest of the workout felt about 10 to 15 kilos harder than what I would have thought. Now at this point, we need to ask the question, why am I having such a bad day? Bad days happen. One of the main reasons lifters don't get better is that they have one bad day and want to change everything they're doing. While that's a knee-jerk reaction and probably wrong most of the time, we need to look at the context and ask if what I'm doing now will make me better in the long run. Are there variables at play that could have led to a bad performance, lack of sleep, nutrition, outside stress, or possibly just a random bad day? If some or all of those are true, stay the course, but look out for continued bad performances and try to find reasons that they could be happening. In my case, I have reasons, and I don't think those reasons will lead to long-term success by me staying the course. In my most recent blocks, I've increased my hard squat sessions from 1 time a week to 2 times per week. I've decreased my average reps. I've increased average load on those sessions. So essentially, I ran a peaking block. The goal was for me to test out what that style would do for my squat strength, and the answer was in the short term, it absolutely helped my squat get stronger. But because of the lower volume, also had a higher risk of stagnation. So in this case, with no meet until June, I have plenty of time to reset, take what I learned from this block, and write something new that I think will lead to better progress down the road. So this week I started a new block with a lot more reps. For now, my goal is to undershoot most of my RPE goals and just string together a lot of good sessions and get my body feeling good again. My first squat day this week really confirmed that I needed a change. What's normally a very easy rep with 250 kilos or 550 pounds felt very hard. I followed that with a 5x5 with 210 kilos that I expected to be effortless, but really wasn't. As I mentioned earlier, because of my lack of reps and volume, I've just been feeling uncoordinated and inconsistent in my squats. But by the end of this day, my squats started feeling much better, and I'm confident I'm going to improve on this really quickly. I'm also going back to deadlifting twice a week, with one of these days being some really light reps. In the past, when my deadlift has felt its best, the pull was basically mindless. I didn't have to put a lot of thought into having a perfect setup because I was so used to having so many good reps that it just happened naturally. Warm-ups felt a little slow on this day, but the 5x5 with 250 kilos or 550 pounds felt about as easy as I would have wanted it, and I feel like I'm off to a good start here, and this block is set up well in a way that should get things moving again very quickly for me. So at the end of the day, there are definitely times that your programming may need to be adjusted, and you may need to make large changes. But it's important to look at the big picture and figure out why you had that bad day or week or whatever, and see if it's something that will fix itself or if it actually needs some management. So hopefully that video was helpful. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.